What's going on, guys? Welcome back to another video for Honkai Star Rail. In this video, I'm going to rate all of the Curios that is available currently in Honkai Star Rail. Since we got update from the Swarm Disaster, we got to see many more interesting Curios. So let's just rate them all and see how good they are. Maybe we can even make some comparison with the older Curios. So let's get started. I forgot to mention we're going to divide this into three different sections: positive Curios, the error code Curios, and lastly the negative Curios. As for the error code, I'm just going to compare and how good they are compared to each other in terms of their effects in helping us achieving victories in Simulated Universe. And as for negative Curios, some of them can be used to your advantage, even though mostly they will give you negative stuff. And so the way I'm going to rate the negative ones, mostly deciding how severe the effects on us in order to achieve a victory in Simulated Universe, and also whether those advantages can be used for certain teams or not. Okay, first I'm gonna start with the dimension reduction dice. See, I'm gonna read out the effects in Wiki. When choosing the blessings after winning a battle, 1 extra blessings can be chosen, but number of available blessings will be reduced by 1. This Curio will be destroyed once this effect has been triggered 2 times. So it's this item right here. I think this is a very good Curios overall, since you're able to get 1 extra blessings. 1 extra blessing is always good, since it will be closer towards you getting a resonance for your paths, especially if you're able to get it with some other Curios, which I will talk about later when we get the Curios. So I think this one is easily an S tier. It's nothing but a positive Curios. So overall, it is really helpful for us. So while the positive Curios is mostly just whether how good and unique their effects are in order to help us in order to achieve a victory in Simulated Universe. Some other can be game changing, since it can help us very good, and some are just like it's a minor help, you know. Moving on, the second Curio will be the Chaos Trimates. It's this one right here. Let me read the effect of the Curio. When choosing your blessings after winning a battle, increase the number of free blessing resets by 1. This is easily an S tier, because a free reroll for your blessings is always super good, since sometimes we get none of the blessings that we want. Sometimes, like after having a reset, now we have a 1 free resets, and after 1 free reset we still don't get a blessing that we want. We still have another chance to get by rerolling again for paying a little bit of cosmic fragments. So this with Curios, it will help us better towards achieving the plans that we want when we go through the Simulated Universe. So easily an S tier. And then let's move to the third one. I'm going through by the wiki order. So the next one is the Warping Compound Eye. It's this item right here. Let's read the effect. When choosing a blessing after winning a battle, level up all 1-star blessings that appear. Pretty good. It's nothing but positives, but are they as game-breaking as these two in the S tier? I don't know, but it's still pretty good effect, since having already enhanced blessings, it's really good since we can save the money to enhance the higher rarity blessings. But this one doesn't help as much when you get it towards the end of your explorations, since we tend to get higher rarity towards the end. So not that helpful, but it's still pretty good regardless. So because of that, I'm going to put it in an A tier. Easily A tier. And B tier is just like very minor effects that barely makes changes. So that's how I put that category. C tier is like quite situational, but can still be useful, but not that game changing. While D is like extremely niche. That is, it's useful, but it's really hard to get a good use in the most situation. except a very few situations. I will get into the examples when we get to a certain Curios for that. While S and A tier are very good, nothing but positive outcomes by obtaining these Curios, so we'll go with that and how I decided to judge as A, B, C, or D tier. And moving on to the next Curio, it will be the Fruit of the Alien Tree. It's, let me see, it's this one right here. Let's read the description. After winning a battle, revive all down characters in the current team and restore their HP to their max HP. This Curio will be destroyed once this effect has been triggered one time. It's not bad effect, but you mostly don't want to actually lose any characters except in a very like sticky situations. And even though you do lose a character, you can just revive them and then with only 80 cosmic fragments. So it's not that great, but it does have an effect, and it only has one usage, which is kind of weak. If it's a permanent, it's really good, since you can be a bit more reckless with your team building in the simulated universe, maybe except boss fight. But yeah, it's not that great, so I think I'm going to put this item on a C tier right here. Yeah, I think I'm quite happy with it being in a C tier. And moving to the next one, Casket of Inaccuracy. It's this item right here. Let's see what the effect is. Gain 1 or 2 random blessings after obtaining this Curio. It's very mid Curio, I think. It's just 1 or 2 random blessings without any guaranteed levels. And usually this is being sold for cheap in the Swarm Disaster, about like 150 cosmic fragments. But if you do buy it from the Respite domain with 120 fragments when you want to buy a Curio, I don't think this is a Curio that you really want to get, since it's not even guaranteed a certain path that we took. So it's not that great. It's mostly positive, and it can be used in any situations. If you don't have a better Curio to choose, I think this is a pretty decent option. So I'll put this in B tier for now. Let's move on. The next Curios will be the bear grease cheese. Bird Grice, I don't know how to pronounce this thing. It's this one right here. Let's read the effect. After winning a battle, all allies restore HP equal to 30% of their respective max HP. It's pretty good. It has mostly positive effects, but I don't know how good they are, since I always bring healers into my team. I think this can be very useful if you decided just to bring a shielder instead of a healer, but it's not as useful throughout all situations. So I think it's pretty good. It's either in like high B tier or like low A tier. It's very good. You can use it in all situations, and you can save a few skill points when you enter a battle, I suppose. Let's put an A tier, low A tier right now, and we'll see if I will change my mind later. Let's move on to the next Curio. It's the Fortune Glue. When choosing your blessings after winning a battle, all blessings that appear are guaranteed to be 3-star rarity. This Curio will be destroyed once this effect has been triggered one time. It's a pretty good Curio, I suppose. Let's find where they are. It's right here, Fortune Glue. Getting a 3 stars is just really good overall, since 3-star rarity blessing, strongest blessing you can get. And you can abuse this Curio to a certain extent if you manage to get a domain or an occurrence that has a guaranteed multiple waves of enemies within a fight. You can get multiple 3-star Curios instead of just one time. For example, if you manage to get into the Trotter occurrence, well, you have to fight the 3 Trotters. If you have this Fortune Glue, you can end up getting 3-star rarity blessings instead. So it can be really useful if you use it on the right timing, especially with the Swarm Disaster now. You can actually adjust where you want to go. So I think this is easily an S tier. I think I'm gonna put it below the free reset. I think the free reset is higher than this, but higher than the dice. Since you can abuse this to a certain extent, you can abuse the dice as well to a certain extent. So if you have 3 waves, instead of getting 3 blessings, you can get 6 blessings. So it's pretty good as well. These two are very close, but 3-star rarity is just very good overall. While the lower rarity is very good to just reach your resonance as fast as possible. Let's move on to the next one. Oh, this is my favorite Curio of all time. The parchment that always eats. It's this one. This thing is really good. Let's read the description. Upon entering battle, all enemies receive damage equal to 30% of their respective max HP. Easy. The best Curio of all time. This will save you quite a bit of time, especially when you play in the higher difficulty. Mind you, this also works on the boss's domain. By shaving 30% of the HP at the beginning of the fight, you can save yourself a little bit of skill points and a little bit of HP of your characters. So this overall is a really good Curio to obtain at all time. Easily an S tier. And then let's move to the next one. It's the Doctor's Robe. It's this one. I really like this Curio, honestly. Let's read the effect first. Upon entering battle, regenerates path resonance energy to max and increases path resonance damage by 40%. 40% damage is really, really good. And every battle, you have a full resonance. And it even stacks with resonance that has 2 bars of activation. For example, like the Hunt, you can activate it twice and they will give a full 2 bars every start of the battle. So it's really good. But the second effect of increasing damage 40%, it's kind of wasted on some of resonance, like the Abundance. Like, because they don't deal damage, they just heal. And I don't know whether these actually affects the nihility dot damage. So if anyone knows about it, do leave it in the comment section. But overall, it's really good and it can be applicable to almost every single blessings, maybe except Abundance. I'm not sure about nihility. I don't think it works with propagation as well. I could be wrong. So it's either really high A tier or real low S tier, since it cannot be used for Abundance, for example. It's really good. I think I'll put an S, lower S tier for now. Let's see if I change my mind later. And we're into the next one, the Society Tickets. It's the one right here. Increase the number of cosmic fragments received after winning a battle by 75%. So this is a very good Curio. It's good if you're able to get it at very early of your explorations, since you're gonna do lots of battles beforehand. But if you do end up getting it a bit towards the end of your exploration, it's kind of a waste. So they're not useful in all situations. 75% is quite a bit. Since like, what, you get about like 100 fragments on each battle, which is pretty good, almost 100 probably. And you get about 70% of that, so like 175 per battle. So it's pretty good and it gives you more incentive to actually choose combat domain. So I think it's really good. It's very similar to the goggle ones because like it's very good towards early exploration, since you would get like lower rarity blessings. I think I'll put it A tier. It's pretty good. It's pretty good. And the next one is Faith Bond. It's another tickets looking one. It's this one. This one is also pretty good. It's reduce the cosmic fragments required for leveling up blessings and resetting down characters by 30%. It's very good for normal simulated universe for sure, but for storm disasters, you can only do this at the end of your exploration, just before the final boss. So getting this Curio early is not as good, but the effect is just really good. Because if you have lots of fragments and you have this, you can enhance a lot of blessings if you do have this one. So it's either A or S tier. It's just very good to have it, like, but it's not very useful for exploration per se. Maybe a low S tier for now. It's just it can be used once you get it, you're set, which is a bit different from the increased cosmic fragment, because if you get it really towards the end, there's no point. You only get like few extra fragments. So I think I'll put it in S tier. Let's move on. Robe of the Beauty. It's this one. Let's read the effect. Upon entering battle, increase damage dealt by all allies by 60% for every 100 cosmic fragments players own. It's pretty good. It's pretty good, but most of the time you would want to spend your cosmic fragments because you need it to buy blessings and to enhance your blessings, unless you're that strong that you don't really need like that many enhanced blessings. Plus, if you can get up to 1,000 fragments in Swamp Disasters, you can get up to 160%, which is quite a lot of damage. But for me, I always like to spend my fragments for enhanced blessings. But I don't know, like 160% damage is pretty good. I don't know, this is a hard one. So it's really either like you like to save or you just want to spend it all. I think it's pretty good. It's just that it really depends on your decisions and how you want to spend your fragments. So I think I'll put it in B tier. It's pretty good. It's pretty good. But most of the time I spend all my fragments, so there's not much point of me using it. But it's quite a lot of damage, so I'll put it in B tier. If the percentage was a bit lower, I'll put it in C or D tier because it's too situational. But 16% per 100, it's pretty good. It's pretty good. Let's move on to the next one. Gold Coin of Discord. It's, where is it? It's this one. Let's see what it does. Each time you enter the following domain, gain cosmic fragments equal to 6% of the cosmic fragment currently in possession. It's alright, I think. Once again, this is really good if you have it at the beginning of your explorations and not that useful towards the end because you don't enter as many domains. You kind of need to save up a little bit of fragments every single time, so you don't spend all of it at once. Maybe spend like have a little bit of like 100 cosmic fragments or 200 cosmic fragments each. It's pretty good, but it's not game changing or anything. So I'll put it in B tier for now. I'm still thinking about the rope. I'll put it in B tier for now. Yeah, I think I'm happy with it. So it's either here or here, but I'm gonna put it in B tier. The next one is the Void Wig Trimmer. It's this one. I didn't get this for the longest of time because I didn't know what it was. I thought it was a negative Curio, but let's just read what it does. After obtaining this Curio, randomly repairs up to destroyed Curios and restore the remaining uses to default. It's D tier. It's extremely niche, extremely situational. You need destroyed Curios to use it, and it doesn't even show up if you don't have destroyed Curios. So I don't think it's that good. So it's easily, for now, like one of the weakest Curios. So let's just move on. And let's move to the next one. It's the Record from Beyond the Sky. It's the record one. It's this one. This one is pretty good. Upon entering battle, all allies will nullify all damage received except for Dot until their attack and cannot be debuffed for 3 turns. Very good. It's very good. It's useful in all kinds of situations, regardless of your team, since you get 1 free damage mitigation one time and debuffs mitigation as well for 3 turns. It's very good. So easily A tier. It's extremely useful. The effect itself is not that game changing, so I won't put it in S tier. Some people want to put it in S tier depending on how useful this Curio has been for them, so I think it's alright. I'm not gonna put it on S tier, and I'm happy to put it A tier for now. And next is the Entropic Die. This one right here. Randomly levels up 2 blessings after obtaining this Curio. It's pretty good. Enhancement for your blessing is always good, but it's random, so it's not that reliable. Especially if you have so many blessings already in your possessions, you might end up not getting the one that matters. So I think it's put it in B tier right now. It's really good, but not that good, you know. So I put it B tier, above the casket and the gold coins, because getting enhancement is always good. And let's move on to the next one. It's the Shining Trapezohedron Die. It's this one right here. Let's see what it does. Replaces all Curios currently in possession, including this Curio with random Curios. Okay, this is a very interesting one. I don't know where I should put this, because this either can be like, if you get it very early, it doesn't do much. You just get 1 free Curios basically randomly, and it will replace all your other Curios. But if you have like really good Curios at the beginning and you pick this, those good Curios will be gone. So it's a bit tricky, but this can be abused to a certain extent if you have negative Curios stacking up in your inventory. There's one negative Curio that will multiply itself over time. So if you do end up getting this dice, you can get a lot of free Curios for yourself. But since it's quite random, in order for you to be able to get this dice, it's a bit hard to pull off. But it still has a very good effects, especially as I have mentioned, if you're being greedy with negative Curios, will save your exploration basically. I'm gonna put it in, I don't know, I really like it. I think put it in A tier, maybe above the cheese. It's really useful to save yourself, especially those negative Curios usually comes with good rewards when you obtain them, like 3-star blessings or multiple blessings, or you get another Curios. So it's pretty good. It's pretty good. All right, let's moving on. Okay, next one are the waxes. I'm just gonna read all of them at once because they're quite the same. Randomly gain 1 blessing off the path of your chosen after obtaining this Curio. By choosing your blessings after winning a battle, there's greatly increased chance for blessings of this wax to appear. So basically it increases your chance to get a blessings of whatever the wax is. It's alright. You just get 1 random blessing, increases the chances, but doesn't do much beyond that. And if you end up getting waxes that you don't want, it can be quite a burden. So I think I'm gonna put all of the waxes just in B tier, because they are overall still useful. If you get it on the right condition, it will help you a lot. For example, if you choose the path of Nihility and you get Nihility wax, it's just overall great. Okay, let's moving on from the wax. The next item would be the Shattered Starbait. It's this item right here. Let's read what it does. Increase movement speed by 20% when in a map. During combat, character actions are advanced forward by 10% after the attack action. It's just a full good positive outcome. It's somewhere in 8 here. Before, movement speed aren't that great, except like saving you a few seconds. But now with the Storm Disaster, you have the Adventure domain. So if you don't have someone like Dan Heng that can move, or a Yukong that moves really fast, this will help you a lot in order to get all of the objectives for that Adventure domain. So quite helpful. And the 10% action forward is very good as well, since the more often you go in the battle, usually the better you will be in terms of combat. Maybe except Nihility, but they're still pretty good as well. So it's just overall very useful. I'm gonna put it here, I think, maybe even higher. It's just really good. Yeah, I think I'm happy to put an A tier there. And let's move on to the next one. Obliteration Wick Trimmer. Upon entering battle, increase all allies' damage by 3% for every destructible object that has been destroyed. So this is right here. It's very good. It's very good. Especially if you pair them up with the one that increases your destructible object. Is this one that I'm bringing right now. We'll talk about this one in detail later. So it's really good. 3%. And in Swarm Disaster, you will go through a lot of domains, and each domain has a lot of destructible objects. So overall, it's just really good. Destroying 10 of them is already give you 30%. And usually on Respite domain, you have 3 destructible objects. So that automatically already give you 9. And in Swarm Disaster, you can manipulate it even higher. So I think overall it's just really good. Just free damage, unless you just don't want to break anything. So easily an S tier. I don't know if they're as good as this. I think, yeah, they're pretty good. They're pretty good. I'm gonna put it here. Let's move on to the next one then. The Angel Type IOU Dispenser. Let's see if we can find it. It's right here. Let's see what it does. Cosmic fragments are not received upon winning battles. After triggering this effect 5 times, this Curio will be destroyed and the amount of cosmic fragments currently held will be doubled. Honestly speaking, it's good effects, but 5 combat is a bit much. Because doubling this thing is not worth that much if you have a low fragments in the first place. Because let's say like 5 battles, and each battle almost give you like 100 fragments. If you do 5 battles, you almost get 500 anyway, so it's not that worth it unless your fragment is actually above 500 or like 400 to 600. Maybe that's worth it, or it's very high. But getting that fragments early is not that easy either, unless you go with the maybe like the Path of Preservation and Swarm Disaster, since it will allows you to gather fragments a lot easier. So it's not that great. I'm gonna put it in D tier. Do let me know what do you guys think about this dispenser. For me, so far I don't have any good experience with this Curios. Let me know if there's any way to actually exploit this. Alright, let's move on. The Laurel Crown of Planar Shifts. Let me see if I can find it. It's this one. Right there. Let's see what it does. The current exploration will not terminate if your team is defeated in a non-boss battle. Instead, the battle will be considered a victory, and all characters will recover HP up to the respective max HP. After getting this effect one time, this Curio will be destroyed. It's a positive Curio, but once again, it's situational. Unless you're defeated in a battle, which you don't want to be defeated in the battle in the first place. Maybe it can be used if you just want to skip an elite boss that you don't want to spend your time fighting and you are like very low, or if you go with like no healer, no shielder run, it can be useful, but I don't see the point. Why would you do that unless you do challenges like me? So I think it's a C tier. It can be a good insurance Curios if you don't have any like other good Curios like with the higher tier than this one. So once again, it's just like an insurance before you actually fight the boss. Very niche, very situational, C tier. And let's move on. Space-Time Prism. This one right here. It looks like a cheese. Let's see what it does. Upon entering battle, increase all allies' Eidolon's resonance level by 1. This can be useful depending on the players. For whales, this is completely useless. This is what it does. It increases your Eidolon's character level by 1. If you have like, I don't know, let's say E0 Dan Heng Inhibitor Lune, and you got this, his Eidolon becomes E1. And E1 will activate just for this run when you have this Curios. But 4 stars, since you will have them at higher Eidolons, as long as they're not at E6, I think it's fine. It's very good. But for F2P, this is a very decent, I won't say decent, it's a very good additional effects to make your character a bit stronger. You get to feel how it feels like to be slightly higher tier whale with multiple copies of 5-star characters. So it's pretty good. It's pretty good. I won't say it's S tier though, but I think it's pretty good, like A tier, unless you're a whale once again. If it's a whale, maybe it's completely D tier. It's completely useless dog shit. But for F2P players, which I think like at least like 60 to 70% of the player base, I think we'll put it A tier. I think here's pretty good. Yeah, I think it's better than the disc for like F2P like me. I won't say I'm not F2P. I use Wildkin in the pass. It's still pretty good. It's still pretty good. Let's move on. The Cosmic Big Lotto. Okay, this one I'm a bit conflicted. I'm not sure how to rate this one. It's very similar to the one that just got added in the Swarm Disaster. But let's have a look what it does. After destroying one destructible object, there's a small chance of receiving one Curio, but also a small chance of destroying this Curio and all characters losing 99% of their current HP. This is a tough one. If you get lucky, you can get tons of Curios, which is how I managed to obtain the achievement. You can unlock by having at least 10 Curios during your exploration or something, and I achieved that through this Curio because I got lucky. I managed to get this Curios, and then I got this Curios, and it didn't break. And they just keep giving me Curios one after another, which is pretty good. But then again, it's a luck base, and you can just get like nothing after like getting this and completely lose all your HP before a boss fight. It's good, but it's extremely risky. So I don't know, but the reward sometimes can outweigh the risk. I won't say it's an S tier because there's a risk associated with it, but it's really good overall. I'm gonna put it in A tier. Pretty sure this one will be similar, but I'll get to that next turn. Alright, let's move to the next one. Omniscient Capsule. This one that I've been talking about for quite a bit. Destructible objects will appear more frequently and rewards obtained from them are doubled. Oh my god, they're doubled. And there's a notes here in the wiki. HP and technique points restored by destructible objects are affected. It's pretty good. It's pretty good because, for example, the technique ones usually will restore you 2, and you can restore like 4, which is like amazing. You can be a bit more reckless with your technique spending. Basically, it's really good, especially if you like pair them up with some other Curios, like the Lori one that we just did, and with the one with the destructible one. So by itself it's already good, but with others it becomes really good. I don't know, with other interaction it's really good. I think I'll put it in a really high A tier overall. Plus that you get more cosmic fragments as well. Usually you get like what, 15 per like barrels. You get like 30 something, which is pretty good. And due to the interaction with other Curios, I think I'll put it in A tier, like a really high A tier. Yeah, I'm quite happy with that. Let's go with that for now. And let us move on. Let's see, the next one would be the Punk Lord Mentality. This one. Upon entering battle, there's 100% fixed chance to add to all enemies one weakness of the same type as allies currently on the field. This weakness lasts for 3 turns. It's a positive effect, and this will allow you to bring any kind of team to a fight, but it only lasts for 3 turns. It's not that broken, and most of the time I'll always bring my characters that can match with the enemies by bringing the right elements, so I don't think this helped that much, especially except for new players maybe that don't have that many characters yet and they want to explore with their strongest team at that point. I think I can see that to be useful, but in a long run I don't think they're that great. I think it's a C tier. It only lasts for 3 turns. If it lasts for like permanent throughout the fight, this will go in like maybe like S tier. It will allows you to like bring any kinds of team, which is insane. But for 3 turns, it's a C tier, fortunately. And let's move on. The Beacon Coloring Paste. Now this is a good Curios. It's this one right here. Let's see what it does. When choosing a blessing after winning a battle, randomly level up one blessing among the selections. This is very similar to the Goggle one, but the Goggle one levels up level 1 blessing. Well, this one will level up one blessing of any rarity randomly every single battle. That means if you get lucky enough, you can get a already enhanced 3-star rarity blessings, which is crazy. It's either really high A tier or S tier, but it's really good overall. If you manage to get this very early and you fight an elite enemies or fight a boss, you will get an enhanced version of like 2 or 3-star rarity. So it's super good. I think S tier is very good. Yeah, lower S tier because this thing has helped me quite a bit before. I think right here. Yeah, here. Not as good as this because it's more universal. Yeah, I think this one is good. I'm happy to put it there. Let's move on. Okay, now we're moving to the Swarm Disaster territory. Let's start with the first one, the Triangular Drum Roll Device. Let's see what it does. When choosing a path for the first and second planes, you can additionally select one already enhanced blessings for the corresponding paths. At first, I had no clue what this thing does. I still don't know if I'm 100% correct with what this thing does. So, based on my understanding, in Swarm Disaster, when you finish a boss fight on plane 1 and plane 2, you will get that screen with you get like a scenario happening. Just like how you see the ions. And by the end of that, you get the selections, whether you want to choose like a certain types of decision that makes no sense. But I think if you have this item, for example, towards the end of that scenario thing, you will get a Nihility and Abundance option. And if you choose Abundance, I think usually you don't get anything, just like a dialogue of your choosing. But if you have this Curios, you will get an enhanced blessing of that path. So it's very niche. That means you can only get 2 blessings. I don't know how many blessings you get because like I think I only used this thing once, like and only get 1 enhanced blessings. So I don't know how good this thing is, but 1 enhanced blessing for free of your choosing, but not exactly what rarity you will get. It's too niche, so I'm gonna put it D tier for now. So do let me know about this Curios because I only managed to get it once and I've been trying to experiment with it, but I just don't have the luck to be able to actually get this Curio again. And do let me know how it goes. And then moving on to the next one, the Silver Coin of Discord. This one right here. Let's see what it does. Immediately gain cosmic fragments equal to 50% of the cosmic fragment currently in possession. It's pretty good. It's pretty good. It's very similar to the gold coin. This is really good once you have lots of fragments, that's for sure. But it's not that great if you have like almost none of it. So it's not that game changing. Once again, I think I'm gonna put next to this, next to the gold one, but this one a bit more applicable perhaps. It's only a one-time use, so I don't know. Put it here. Yeah, put it below the gold one. I think the gold one is better. So you consistently get like few percent instead of like just one time 50% of your current one. But in the right situation, you can get a lot of extra fragments, so it's not that bad. And moving on, family ties. It's this one. It crystals all allies damaged by 30% for every Curio that has been destroyed. I don't know. This is extremely niche. You need to go with a mindset that you want all of the destructible Curios in your possession. It's very niche and there's no guarantee that you can actually get it unless in the future updates they actually make a category for like destructible and non-destructible Curios, or you can like destroy Curios on purpose. That will be like a different matter. But then again, you really want an extremely specific situation for this. So I'm gonna put it in D tier, but I think it's better than this guy's down here. So what do you guys think about this one? This is too specific. Let's move on. Medal of the Glory Blood Era. Immediately gain 1 random 3-star blessings. The next time you enter an occurrence domain, no occurrence will be triggered. This Curio will be destroyed after the effect is triggered 1 time. Free 3-star blessings. I think you get to choose out of 3, like a free boss battle, but you will lose in 1 occurrence domain. But in Storm Disaster, you can choose where you want to go, so it's not that big of a loss. Free 3-star, it's really good. It's already better than this casket, so I think it goes up high. Not that high up, maybe like somewhere here, because it's only 1-time use, but 3-star blessing is very good. I don't know, actually, maybe, yeah, I think the value is like around here. I think I'm happy to put it there. It's very good. It's very good, Curios. Let's move to the next one. Black Hole Trap. You will obtain 10 cosmic fragments for each ally whose HP is at max when winning a battle. So this is another Curios that will help you stacking up extra fragments. So if you have 4 party members and all of them in full HP, you get what, 40 extra. It really depends on how often you want to go for a fight. I guess it's alright if you want to choose a blessing of propagation, maybe, since you need to get it via the swarms, because most of the time you will end up fighting, so it's alright. But with other blessings, there's 40 extra cosmic fragments, and that's not even guaranteed. If you have one character that is like lose 1% of HP, you're not getting that 10 extra fragments. So it's very niche, but it's a positive bonus regardless, especially if you have it at the beginning. I think it's C tier. The amount is too low to be that significant. Alright, next one is the Lotto. It's this one. Let's see what it does. After destroying 1 destructible object, there's a small chance of receiving 1 random blessing, but also a small chance of destroying this Curio and causing all team members to lose all energy and technique points. So this can be quite severe, because energy is harder to recover in Simulated Universe compared to HP. HP, you can just break those the green pods and you can heal yourself, but energy, not so much, especially if you are about to fight an elite enemies and you have no energy, or like before you do the trotter fights and you have no energy. It can be quite a hassle, but you get extra blessings. It's always good, especially if you get lucky. I don't think it's higher than the Curio one, because Curio is harder to get than blessing, so I think it's still pretty good, and put it just below it, I think. Let's move to the next one. The Typical Genius Society Gossips, the one with the kiss mark. Let's see what it does. After obtaining this Curio, cosmic fragments obtained will increase by 100%, but blessing will no longer be obtained after combat. This is a very difficult one to choose. Very difficult one to choose. Most of the time you would want to have more blessings rather than more fragments, unless you actually have this rope Curios. So in order to get both of them, it's not reliable because of RNG. So I don't think it's that great in all situations, but the effects are good. Plus, if you don't have blessings, you are kind of fucked, unless you keep buying them. So I don't know, because like with boss fights you can get like 3-star blessings, which is very good. I don't know, unless if you go to like non-combat run, mostly I think it's quite good, and it just focuses more. I don't know, actually I'm very conflicted with this one. It's getting more blessings from combat, it's just too good. But now you can purchase it, and if you combine it with like this one that allows you to purchase it for cheaper, I don't know, it's quite tricky. I think I put in B tier or C tier. I don't know. Blessing is just too good to pass on, man. I think put C tier. I don't know. You can get fragments in many different ways. Well, like getting blessings is a bit difficult. Plus, blessing ties so much to your overall gameplay. I don't know. What do you guys think about this one? I'm really conflicted with this Curios right here. I need to do more experiment to see how good this thing is, because by itself it's not that great, because you only get fragments, more fragments. If you do have this, it could be game changing, and you could have this, all of the fragment ones, it could be game changing. I don't know. I really don't know. I think a C tier. From my experience, I think C tier is alright for the time being. And let's move to the next one. Tonic of Efficacious Chaos. It's this bottle thing right here. Increased damage dealt by character's technique by 200%. Technique damage further increases by 200% of the technique respective character's max HP. It's kinda meh, because techniques only be used once before battle, and I don't think it's that useful against bosses. It can make quick work of some of the like encounter, like the small enemies, but I don't think it's that great. Pretty C tier for now. It's not that great of a Curio in my opinion. Yeah, especially in the higher difficulty, more enemies has more HP, so it doesn't scale that well, I think. Let's just move on. Robert Empire Mechanical Cogwheel. It's this one right here. You obtain 50 cosmic fragments each time you enter a domain. If the cosmic fragment total exceeds 500, then the Curio will be destroyed and all cosmic fragments will be lost. What to do? This thing is good if you have no fragments and you get 50, but the ceiling of having 500 only kinda kills it, because it's really easy in the Swarm Disaster to go over 500 when you have no places to actually exchange them for. It can be very helpful, but I don't know. I think they're better than this ones, because you still get some like free fragments every time you enter a domain. Yeah, I think B tier, like low B tier, like very close to C tier. It's alright, but this will be useless when you have like quite a lot of fragments, so quite situational, but overall still pretty good. The next one is the Cavity System Model. It's the tooth right here. Let's see what it does. Lose all currently possessed cosmic fragments. For every 100 cosmic fragments lost in this way, increase all characters' crit damage by 24%. 24% crit damage. It's a lot. Even like getting like losing 100 fragments just for this is actually pretty good. And imagine you have 1,000, so it times 10, so you have 240% crit damage. That would be insane. I don't know where to put this, because you do lose your fragments, mind you, and fragments is very useful. But 100 for 24% crit damage is already pretty good. I think I'm gonna put really high A tier. Yeah, in the high, if you have more fragment, you will enter a dilemma. Either that you lose all those fragments that you want to spend on blessings, or like enhancement for like pure crit damage. So it really is up to you if you want to choose with that risk or not. I think I put A tier, like here. Yeah, because 24% by itself is already pretty good, easily. And I think I understand now why this will even appear in one of the rewards domain with the Night of Beauty reward, that they give you this for free. So I think it's pretty good. Let's move on. The Tozzle Detective. It's like this one right here. When entering combat, Swarm, Occurrence Swarm, and Boss Swarm domains increase character damage dealt by 8% in the above domain. So it's alright, I think. 8% damage is not that much. It's still a bit more damage. I don't know if this like can be stacked with other things, but it's a bit 8% more. It's not that great and can only be used on like 3 types of domains, so it's not that great of a Curio. If it gives you like 8% more defense against them and like 80% of everything, it could be like maybe like A tier, but not that great. So it's just A tier, B tier right there. Fool's Mask. Okay, this is an interesting one. This is the Aha's Mask. Let's see what it does. All blessing and possession are swapped to random blessings with their enhancements level retained, with a chance of being replaced by blessing of higher rarity. So this could be good, but it could be bad as well. Let's say you have all of your builds ready. You need all of the blessings that you need for example, the Annihility, Dot, and then you get this as an option. You might not want to choose it because you might lose all of them and swap with like bunch of not synergized blessings. So it's not that good. But if you have like all kinds of blessings that is not like synergized with each other, for example, you choose Path of Abundance, but you get nothing like Path of Preservation, for example. That you have no shielder in your team, and you might want to swap off this Path of Preservation. So the Fool's Max can be useful. It's not that game changing, but it can save you if it's so bad with your rolls for the blessings. This Curio can save you, can actually save you. So it's pretty good. It's pretty good. Not the greatest, it's pretty good. I think low B tiers is good. Item prices in the transaction domain become 70% of what they originally were. Easy, A tier. Because you want to spend your fragments often, unless you go for the save the fragments and go with the rope for extra damage. And by having this, you would want to save, you can save a little bit of fragments. This is very good because the transaction domains allows you, like, you have more options on to choose from for blessings and Curios. So it's pretty good, even though they are a bit more expensive than getting them randomly. I mean, 30% discount is pretty good. Easy. And the next one is the Spirit Knights of Beauty. It's this tooth looking thing. Let's see what it does. Gain 4 dice rerolls after obtaining this Curio. Rerolling can be good, but they're not that good. I mean, some of the effects can really help you. For example, if you want to get more fragments through the Path of Preservations, you might want to reroll often if you don't get extra fragments for each collapse domain. So it can be good, and this can be very useful too when you want to light up all of your Trail of Pathstrider. But in the long run, it's not that great. It's still useful, but not that great. I think I'm gonna put it here, like above the wax. It's pretty good, and yeah, it's pretty good. It's pretty good. Let's move on. Next is the Illusory Automaton. It's the ghost-looking thing. This one. Let's see what it does. At the start of character's turn, they restored HP equal to 20% of their max HP. Easy. S tier. I think I'm gonna put it just right here. Why I think this is good, because sometimes your healer cannot heal you at all times, especially if the enemies manage to slow you down so much and your healer's turns are so far away. That extra 20% of HP restored might save your ass. So I think this crew is pretty good, and this way your healers can also spend their actions building skill points instead of like spending on healing as well. So it's pretty good. Yeah, this is really good since it can save you during the clutch mode. Let's move on. A pinch of bearded gunpowder. Gains 1 cheat after obtaining this Curio. Cheat can be good If you use cheat on the right moment, it will give you quite a lot of benefits. Let's see, for example, for Path of Nihility, you have so many blank domains and you want to turn it into a reward domain. This can be good. I think it's good. Yeah, I think I'll put in 8 here because cheat can be useful during explorations and towards setting up a battle to a certain extent. Like in the Path of Remembrance, you do get lucky with the dice roll that will freeze the enemy at the start of the fight. Using the cheat can be useful, so it's not bad. It's pretty good. I don't know, it's 8 here though. You put it B tier. Maybe like here, next to the rope here. And next is the man-made meteorite. It's this eye-looking thing. Let's see what it does. You gain 1 to 3 random blessings for the current path after obtaining this Curio. This is already better than the casket, and this is for your path that you've chosen as well, so it's easily really good. But you can get just 1 blessing though, so it can be quite disappointing sometimes. I think, but you can get up to 3 blessings, which is like easily like what 1 resonance. So I'm thinking I'm gonna put it here. Yeah, just above the cheese here. Well, blessings can also be obtained through combats and whatnot, but this is a nice little bonus if you have no other options to choose from. And next one is the Talon Toxi Flame. It's this one right here. Let's see what it does. Upon entering battle, the characters with the highest attack consume HP equal to 20% of their max HP at the start of each turn. At the same time, their speed increases by 5% up to 5 times. So their speed can go up to 25%. This is pretty good. Pretty good. If you have like, for example, like Zila, for example, it's your highest attacker. She can have a tons of speed. She can move so fast. She can even move faster. So it's quite good. But if you have like for example like me, I have Blade as my main DPS, and the one with the highest attack is actually Locha. This can be useful because Locha can heal more often, but at the same time he will deplete his passive more often. So it's quite tricky to use. So it's quite situational as well, but the up to 25% speed boost, it's pretty good. I think I put it like here. Yeah, I think here is fine. 8 here. You do lose HP though. I don't know. Maybe low 8 here. Yeah, very low 8 here. Let's move on. This is the last, just positive one. The Pinkiest Collision. The pink wine looking thing here. Let's see what it does. Upon entering battle, all allies' break effect increased by 20% for every blessing of different path possess. So how many paths do we have? Let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So you can go up to 160% of break effect increase. And a break effect can be niche, but it can be very interesting to get. For example, if you break enemy with imaginary weakness, you might slow them down by quite a lot. But this one has no negatives though, which is a bit different from this. Plus, break effect is quite situational. I think this is very good for dot teams as well, since dot is affected by break effects. But not, it's positive overall, but only certain teams can make the most use out of it. I think I put it here. Since this dice is situational, this one is like better. I think this needs to be above the dice as well. Yeah. Yeah, here is fine. And that's all for the positive, just positive curios. Let's move to the error code ones. And I'm pretty sure most of you already know, error code ones usually gives you buffs after you finish a certain amount of battles. Let's have a look for all of them. I'm just gonna arrange this real quick. Okay, let's start with the first one, corrupted code. It's the black one here. What it does, placing this code into normal Curio takes 3 battles, While the code is being fixed, a character loses all their energy when they break enemy weakness. It's quite debilitating. Once this code is fixed, when the character breaks an enemy weakness, they regenerate 40 energy. It's pretty good. More energy usually means more ults. And if you give this to like the dot team like Kafka with Annihilative Blessings, I think this can be abused quite nicely. Kafka can just keep spamming her ult every time she breaks the enemy's tough bar. But you do lose energy when you have this like broken, like unrepaired. So as long as you don't use ult, you're fine. Was it ult or using skill? Okay, when you break the enemy weakness, you lose energy. So you don't need to break the enemy weakness, and it's better for you to actually receive this code earlier in your exploration time. So it's pretty good. Moving on is the odd code. It's the same, it takes 3 battles, and while this being fixed, character loses 30% of their current HP every time they use their ultimate. Once this code is fixed, every time a character uses their ultimate, they restore HP equal to 30% of their max HP. That's pretty good. You can substitute your healer quite a bit, especially if you don't have Locha, because usually with Locha passive, you can heal yourself using ultimate. And this can be a good substitute for that. The thing is higher because the penalty is not as high either. You can just avoid using ultimate entirely during this and just use skill and normal attacks. So it's pretty good. It's pretty good. Oh, sorry, that's not the odd code. The odd code is this one. Now let's move to the next one. The normal code still takes 3 battles. While this code is being fixed, allies take 30% more damage when their HP percentage is below 50% of their max HP. Once it's fixed, characters receive 25% less damage while their HP percentage is below 50% of their max HP. Let's see, the damage reduction is pretty good. 25% less damage is pretty good. The normal code, but it can only be used when you're below 50. It's quite risky, especially if the boss hits really hard. I think it works well with the Path of Distractions though, so it's not all that bad. But I think they're not as good as this do. So I'm gonna put it in B tier here. Yeah, I think I'm happy to put it there. Next one is the Elegant code. It takes 3 battles as well. While it's being fixed, random enemy action will be advanced forward by 30% every time character uses a skill. Once it's fixed, when a character uses a skill, their next action will be advanced forward by 25%. Easy. S tier. You use your skills almost every time, and 25% moving forward, it's really good. Put it here. It's better than this one for sure, because this alone, every time you use skill, you just move forward. It's super good. And then let's move to the next one. The Mysterious code. Fixing this code takes 3 battles. And while it's being fixed, enemy deals 35% more damage when another enemy unit defeated by a character. Okay, so if you can kill the enemies all at once, it's not that bad. But once this is fixed, allies deal 25% more damage after an enemy is defeated. Damage bonus is good, but you need to defeat enemy first. If the enemy can multiply non-stop, like the propagation, this can be broken. But if the enemy only a single enemy type, like for example Kafka only have 2 enemies at the beginning, so you can only get up to what 100% again, 25%, so 50% damage, but it's still pretty good. Because so far we don't have any boss that actually don't have like summons them, so I think it's pretty good. It's pretty good, but more damage usually means just better. So let's put it here. Even S tier even. Yeah, let's put it in S tier. And last one for the error code is the infinitely recursive code. While this big face character uses skill, they consume 1 extra skill points. Once it's fixed, recover 1 extra skill point when a character uses basic attack. It's better for like SP management. But even with Danheng Inhibitor Lune that's consumed 3 SP when using his enhanced basic attack, you can still manage them using Locha and one of the blessing for Path of Abundance. So it's not that useful with because SP management is not that difficult in this game, even with Imbibitor Lune at this point. Unless you want to go full DPS team. Sometimes like you need debuffer and buffer instead, so going full DPS sometimes is not even recommended. I think it's not that great. I think pretty like here. Yeah, pretty here. Quite happy with that. And that should wrap up the error curios. And we're moving to the negative curios. We have a couple here. Let's start. First, the insect web. You can tell from the shape. Upon entering battle, the character currently with the highest attack will become parasitized. While parasitized, the current attack increased by 50%. But we lose HP equal to 20% with the current HP at the start of every turn. When this character is knocked down, parasitized will transfer to a random character. Okay, negative Curio will not go beyond B tier because most of the time they just give you a negative trait for yourself. But this one, for example, give you attack boost, so it's not entirely negative. It's very close to this drain Curio thing, even because this also consumes your HP, and this one also consumes your HP, and it boosts your attack. So it's not all that bad. This might be the only B tier negative Curio that I don't mind. Especially if Blade was using attack as his stat scaling, this could be broken because you lose HP and it will trigger Blade's passive for the follow-up attack even faster. So, but unfortunately he's not, unless he's the highest attack and the rest are like a bunch of defenders and healers that scale with HP. This could be good. So B tier. And then moving on. The IPC Kaku Clock? Cosmic Fragment required to level up and reset blessing increased by 25%. Nothing but demerits. D tier. Mechanical Kaku Clock. Open time level consume 2 skill points. Nothing but demerit. D tier. But I think this one is more manageable. Especially if your team are not skill point heavy. So it's not that bad. And then Divination Kaku Clock. When selecting blessing after a victory, the number of available blessing will be reduced by 1. Nothing but demerits. You get less blessing too. So this will really limit your options. D tier. Black Forest Kaku Clock. Upon entering battle, randomly increase the chance for one character to be attacked by enemies for 5 turns. Okay, this can be useful if this end up being selected towards your tanker, or for example, it gives this Curio's target Blade. It will make him take his passive for his follow-up attack even faster. So this can be useful. So it's C tier, but it's not as good as the Spiderweb one. And we have 2 more. The Perpetual Motion Kaku Clock. Each time you enter the following domain, lose 5% of all comic fragments currently in your possession. Nothing but negative. I think this is worse than this. This one you only towards the end. So this one you lose money every single time. So it's not that good. And lastly, the Fissured Kaku Clock. Reduce character's attack by 5 and grant a chance of splitting into a clone with max of 3 concurrent clones after winning a battle. So this is one that I mentioned before that can pair really well with the dice here. If you lucky, you have 3 clones of this, so you have what, 20% attack reduction, which is not good. But if you end up getting the dice, you get a free 4 Curios, which can be game changing, honestly speaking. So since it can be abused to a certain extent, even though less reliable, it's a C tier. Okay, that's all. This one is I don't know how to trigger this thing. Something to do with this one. I think you will get a fragments when you actually end up doing this. So do let me know how to trigger the broken clock here. So, and that's it. I don't think I want to change anything from this. I'm quite happy with how the tier list turned out, seeing how the S tier are mostly very like game changing. That really helps you. and A tier are somewhat game changing when they're being utilized correctly. B tier usually like they're quite good to have, but not nothing too crazy. And C tier is quite situational but can be used, while D is extremely situational, extremely niche, that sometimes you don't even want to think to get any of it. So except for this one, I don't know how this one exactly works, as I mentioned previously. So once again, let me know how this thing actually works if I missed some information about this. And thank you so much for watching for my Honkai Star tier list for Curio, and since the new update for the storm disaster. This video might be longer than I thought, so thank you so much for once again keeping up with me and listening to the very end. I'm still cooking a few more videos about Honkai Star Rail since the Swarm Disaster update, so look forward to that as well. Till the next video, stay sharp gamers.
Thanks for watching. Bye. Please subscribe. Bye.
The legend will never die.